Hi, everyone. Welcome to Genealogy Adventures. I'm Brian Sheffy.
And I am Danya Williams. We have such a great show for you guys today because it's a hot topic. It's a hot topic. It's a hot topic.
Indeed, especially judging by the number of times that our little post about this particular episode got shared. Um,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, I would say so. But as always, thank you for spending the next hour with us. No matter how you're tuning in, you know that we always appreciate having you. And please, if you're watching us on our Facebook Live page, or on YouTube, or on LinkedIn, please come at us with any questions that you have about today's topic, which is Ancestry Pro Tools, or comments or your experience using these tools.
Yes,
So,
definitely. So, Brian, I'm going to share this stuff with a couple of things. So, if you can just kind of talk through real quick and let me do some stuff, and I'll be right with you.
okay. Um, As Donia said, this is a hot topic. I've noticed that the whole conversation about Ancestry's Pro Tools has lit up places like Instagram, Reddit, you name it. If it's a forum, and Facebook genealogy groups. If it's a social media platform, people are talking about it. Um, and basically, what it is a new suite of tools which Ancestry has launched. I'd like Donia, do you know if it's still just $9.99, or is it still a variety of prices being charged?
I think it depends on where in the US. The one thing that I do know is that it is it depends on where. I think it depends on where in the US, and that it is only in the US. The last that I did when I was reading it from Krista, it's only offered in the US, but the prices are varying between $9.99 and as high as $19.99. But it's going up and down.
Okay. So anyone listening to this would have to actually check their Ancestry account to see how much they're going to get charged for it. But roughly speaking, there are four different groups of tools. So there's something called a tree checker, and we'll be going over all of these in the show. So tree checker, you can also do charts and reports, filters, which I'm a huge fan of, and map views. So as I was saying to Donnie in the green room, I'm going to try to be kind of academic about this. And if I was grading a student paper to open up with something positive, then you kind of get into the analysis of the student's work in the middle. And then hopefully in the end, something inspirational, or, student did great work, pat them on the back and send them on their way. So I'm going to start with the advanced filters. Filters is something that I have personally been begging Ancestry for years, probably coming up to about 10 years now. Because as my tree gets larger and dealing with different groups, family groups in different parts of the country, living in different states or different colonies, because my mother's ancestral regions are very different very different from my father's, and I was also doing a lot of DNA work. So there's just some family groups I literally haven't looked at for years. And if someone happens to mention something about, oh, I see you have a lot of DNA matches in Fayette County, Tennessee, well, actually using some of the filter capabilities on Pro Tools, I could actually do that. I could actually look at all the people that in my tree that I've noted as being in Fayette County, Tennessee. And even better, if I know that it's specifically on my father's side of the family, I can click paternal line and then location, and then type in Fayette County. To be able, and then hopefully scanning through that list, I'll see a name that will spark my memory, and it's like, oh yeah, it was the Shackelford family. So for people whose minds work kind of like mine, that kind of analytical and getting information out of using combinations of filters, filtering is an option that you might want to check out. I'm going to say I wish that this was free. I think it would. I think as people again have more complex trees and the trees get larger, they don't really look at part of their tree for a long time, and we should, as always, go back and review our work, which is going to come into the tree checker part of the show. Um, just a nifty option, I'm going to have to say, and I just think that everyone would benefit from having it, or at least would benefit from it. As I said, as their trees become larger.
Now, which part was this?
That was the filters where you can filter by names, events, locations,
Yeah, you and
label.
I were talking about that in the green room, and I mean, you were making some good points with it. Y'all know I'm anti ancestry and really wishing that another company would come up with something similar to it so it can give it a rival. Or I mean, I think I think Ancestry needs competition. That's what I think Ancestry needs. I think Ancestry needs competition. I think everybody, and it's not just Ancestry, I think everybody should have a competition so that it can keep um, things clean. Competition keeps things clean, it keeps things honest.
Well, I was going to say quickly about the labeling. The other thing that sorry, the filters. You can also filter by labels. And Donia, you know, in my tree, I am a huge fan of labels. Um, so again, that would be another benefit for me. In terms of competition, I agree. Competition tends to keep people honest and, and keep things fresh.
Yeah.
Um, Now that you're kind of free of your producerial kind of tasks, let's start with the name Pro Tools. Um, I'm basically going to say that apart from filters, there really isn't anything that I would use as a pro from this. I think it's a
Nope.
bit of a misnomer.
Yep. I'm in agreement. I think that it's gonna let a beginner or intermediate person make them feel like they're doing something that someone who is considered, well, let's start there. What is considered a pro? Especially in this particular field, because a pro, what we're doing, what we do, this is a hobby right now. In so many words, you don't go to school for this. You don't have to go to school for this. You don't have to get a degree for this. You don't have, this is not necessarily something that you got to go and really dig in like a law degree or a doctoral degree in order to have it. So what's considered pro when it comes to something like this? So to name it a Pro Tools, say Ancestry Pro Tools, you're actually making these people think, those that are getting into this, and as they're doing it, you're making them think that, oh, I'm using the same thing that Henry Louis Gates is using. It, you know, and just going into it in that manner. And I think that's very unfair. I think that's very unfair.
Do you know what would have swung it for me? If they had put a chromosome browser in
Oh,
here. You know, the tools that pros actually use. That would have been amazing to have put what so many other companies have. And I know that there may be thoughts out there, well, you know, someone, you know, another company's chromosome browser got hacked and people's private details accessed. That can happen at any point in time on any software platform that we use.
so Brian, you just dove right into where everybody had the issue was at the very beginning, saying, I want a chromosome browser. I
I
mean,
want a chromosome browser. I'm gonna be a broken record on that until Ancestry does it. I've been saying this for years now.
yeah,
Give me a chromosome browser.
yeah. Yeah, you dove right into the heart of the situation. You know, you're gonna make me pay for $10 for something that I should be doing from the beginning, and you know, but what I really need, you won't give me. So that's just over the top crazy. That doesn't
Or if,
even make it. It's just over the top.
and if you're going to get rid of DNA circles, which I personally found helpful, even if I didn't initially know why these people, why I was in a circle with these people on surnames that at the time I had no idea who these people, who these people were. Instead of getting rid of DNA circles and replacing it with through lines, which is just a glorified version of what was that short-lived app that was the craze? We're
Yeah, I
related.
have known the
It's
name of that app for.
we're related.
We're related.
Through lines is basically we're related.
Yeah,
Give
if
us
y'all didn't know, because We're Related was owned by Ancestry, and
give us
that's what
some
it is.
yeah, give us something along the lines of, and I think it's 23andMe's kind of genetic family tree, where it's actually based off of people's DNA and make, is it 23andMe? Yeah, it is. Or is it my,
23andMe's tree is awesome. That genetic tree is just
it
absolutely
is. Okay.
is on another level. I don't know if anybody has used it yet. I don't know, but if you haven't, it's on another level. So
And
that's
again,
all I'm gonna say about that.
I just think it's genius because it's actually based off of people's DNAs and not their trees.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's and I would,
It's on another level.
and they don't even classify that as a pro tool because that kind of working with your family tree on that genetic DNA level, and um oh, we were just talking about it, the it's just combination, oh, plus the chromosome browser, working with those two things together is just, it's powerful genetic
It's
genealogy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. It's on a it's and the thing about the 23andMe genetic tree is that even if you, because right now 23andMe's chromosome browser is shut down, you can still use their tree because you can use outside stuff to make your comparisons on certain things and then go back to their tree if you're good at figuring out what it is that you need to figure out,
Mhm.
and then say, oh, okay, I see where this family line fits. I can see that. I can put this in, and then create your tree to that particular point of the person that you are now genetically connected to, put it in, and then it clicks and it works. Because I know that's what I've been doing with my genetic tree on 23andMe. So I don't
and
know. Oh,
and
Shelly said that it's questionable.
well, it's like anything, you have to research it.
Yeah, yeah, you do. And I know for me, my 23andMe tree is so on point. For me, my 23andMe tree, every time I figure something out, when I figure something out for one line, it at anybody else who's on that line, it tells me where they're supposed to go at that point. And it's right. It's absolutely correct. Like there's no doubt in it at that point. But that's because I'm figuring it out properly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm gonna
But
I'm gonna say the only challenge I have with 23andMe's genetic tree is clusters of very interbred people. So I know that the tree is pointing me in the right direction, but trying to tease out exactly who the right correct ancestral couple is when you have generations of cousin marriages, that's the only challenging part. Just to make sure that you tease those separate lines out to get things lined up in the,
right,
the correct fashion. But
right.
as we've just been saying, that's researching.
That
That's being mindful of your research and working all of that out before you make those connections.
exactly. And to Shantae McCormick, you cannot upload your tree to 23andMe. And on a, not only can you not upload your tree to 23andMe, the other, downside to it is for 23andMe, if you have endogamy, you cannot have, like, for example, we have Moses Williams. Moses Williams has two daughters that may have children that married each other. I can't put them up there like that. Those kids, I can't put them up there. So there is downsides to the whole thing. There are some downsides. So I can understand where Shelley says that it can become questionable on certain things, because I have some where Violet Williams' kids are on 23andMe. Martha's kids are on 23andMe. I can put Violet up there. I can put Martha up there, but I can't put Moses as Violet and Martha's father, because then Martha and Violet's kids are marrying each other, and I can't put the two kids, on the tree, because now they're cousins. And 23andMe is like, what? No, no, that's not possible. It then turns them
And
upside
it
down.
was.
So,
And it was. But I think this is a nice segue into the tree checker because you've got that queued up to show people. So tree checker basically is there to catch potential duplicates and any errors that we may have in our trees. So an error, for instance, would be spotting that a child is born before their parents, or that someone's parents were 8 years old when they had them. Um, so catching errors like that. Now, Donnie and I both have female ancestors who started having kids. They were married young, so they started having children young. Sometimes, they were 15 when they got married and 15 when they had their first kid. I know some of the people that I have in the Appalachians, so the Scottish Irish kind of side of the family, they're in Tennessee. They're getting married. Daddy's signing off on them getting married at the age of 14, and they're mothers by 15. And says the tree checker would actually flag that as an error.
right. Yes, it would. It would flag that as an error. And one of the things that Brian was talking about with that, actually, Brian, so I was talking to one of our genealogy adventure researchers, and according to Loretta, y'all know that's my other go-to person. She said that it actually popped up for her because she likes it. So there are pros and there are cons with this whole thing. Even though I am a anti-ancestry person, I do pay my money out to them because I need it. And but there are pros and there are cons. And according to this, she says she really actually likes the tree checker. She says it moves faster for her. And she said there was one where she caught somebody and it said that the mother was too young to have a child. They had the mother at 8. So she kept moving the child's age, changing the child's age. And it actually did it where the mom was 13. Once the mom was 13 years old, then it said it was okay. So apparently they have the age at 13 for this mother. But some women, as you and I was talking last night about this whole situation, some women rite of passage is once you have your menstrual cycle as a female, that is your rite of passage as having a child, being able to have a child. And some women have their rite of passage as early as 10, unfortunately. So what if someone got pregnant at 11? That is not impossible. That is not an impossible thing. My biggest issue with the tree checker is that if there is a kid that ends up getting pregnant at the age of 11 and having a child at the age of 12, which you know for a fact is a possibility because of what you found with your Hammond line,
Hmm.
they will the the system will kick that out. as a beginning researcher getting into something like that, you're just going to automatically say, oh, it's wrong because the system says it's wrong. And you're going to say it's wrong. But if you're not doing your research, if you're doing your research on it, you shouldn't agree with it. That is where my problem comes in with this particular thing. You have to do your research, but it's like a child. The easier you make stuff for your children, the less they're going to learn as time goes on. That's what's going on with our children today. It's too easy. They're not learning. And that's what this system, in my opinion, does. Like Brian said earlier, he is old school when it comes to certain things like this. I am old school when it comes to certain things like this. Most of our audience know I have been cleaning my tree for the past 2.5 years. And guess who's still cleaning their tree? Danya. And the tree checker is about cleaning the tree. That's what it's about.
And I agree. As I said, when I say that I'm old fashioned on this, it's the reason why I know I'm way overdue to clean my tree. I literally start at the top of a line and work my way through every single descendant line, taking it in turn until I've actually gotten through that whole descendancy line. The other reason why I like doing it that way is that specifically if it's part of my tree that I haven't looked at in 2, 3, 4 years, it rejogs my memory about specific marriage patterns and naming patterns and all, and, where people were actually moving to, um, which is all, which is all good stuff. I wouldn't get that through the tree checker. I just wouldn't.
Yeah. I wouldn't use it that way. I really wouldn't. So let's get into how this actually works. So the first slide that I am going to show you guys is, let's see here. This right here is Elizabeth Adams. Elizabeth Adams is one of my grandfather's cousins on his mother's side. Now, if you look right here, this is the exclamation point that's supposed to show you if you have possible errors. When you see the little dot up at the top, that means that there's possible errors for it. And when you click on it, you get this little blue dot right here. You get this blue box that says possible errors for Elizabeth. And then it gives you Tree Checker thinks these need a second look. Now, if you're going to tell me that it needs a second look, and I'm going to switch to this scene right here for put me and Brian up here. And it says, if it's going to tell me that you need a second look, you should give me the option to give the second look. Am I right? I should be able to,
Hmm.
right. I should be able to look at it. But this is not giving me that option to look at it. It's not letting me see Mary Eliza Adams. I can see why they're saying it because Mary Eliza Adams was born in 1869. Elizabeth was born in 1867. But all it's doing is telling me that I need to merge them. I need to click this and merge.
I think at
As
the
a
very
new
least,
customer, go ahead, Brian.
I think at the very least it should say verify.
It should say verify. And I'm in much agreement with you on that. But it doesn't. So as a new customer, I'm going to click merge. I'm not going to go through it because I'm new at what I'm doing. I'm not going to click merge. But because I'm not new at what I'm doing, because I am kind of old school, I'm actually going to do something different. I'm going to find out what it is. So let's look at what this actually was. Mary Eliza is actually this person. This is Mary Eliza. If y'all look at the yellow, Elizabeth is in yellow. And Elizabeth Right under Elizabeth is Mary Eliza. They're sisters. So I don't need to merge them. They really should not be merged. So I'm not going to merge those two ladies.
Yeah, they were sisters.
They were sisters. I'm not going to merge those two ladies. So how do you get out of that? The way you get out of that is you just hit the X. And then it tells you nice work. And it's done. And now you're out of it. And it's supposed to pop away. It's now hidden. It's not available to you anymore and it's gone. But if you don't know to do all of those different things and all of those different steps, then it's not going to do it right. But that's basically how the tree checker works. Those are the things that the tree checker does. And that's how that works. To me, that's too many steps, in my opinion. Because I'm already going to go through my particular stuff anyway. I'm already going to do my thing.
Mhm.
I'm already going to go and I'm going to look at my stuff and I'm going to go through I'm already going to do that anyway. To me, it's a waste of money.
Now, I wish I could remember her name. I saw a YouTube video on this morning, and I'm going to co-op what she said. In a tree checker, what actually would have been really cool is if it flagged other people with the same name, born around the same time, living in the same area as an ancestor. Just to make sure, especially when you're working with those pre-1850 censuses, when all you have is the head of a household, just to make sure that you've put the right record for the right William Gilchrist, for instance.
Hmm.
Um, or it doesn't even have to be before then. Think about how many women in our tree who are named Carrie Brunson, all born between 1860, actually 1858 and say 1862. That's not that large of a age variance. There were loads of them. You know,
Right,
and it would be really helpful to actually have a little tree checker alert going, are you sure that the Carrie Brunson in the 1870 census is the person that you want to save this record to? Is it the right Carrie Brunson?
right,
A feature like that would be really awesome, especially if you had a whole list of other Carrie Brunsons born within that age range, all living in Edgefield County, South Carolina, to be able to compare it to.
right. And remember how you and I met, Emily Peterson,
We did. I wrote a whole blog post, spent 18 months trying to work out
who
which
she
one
was.
which one was my direct ancestor and which one was a family relation.
Exactly. Exactly. We have so many, it's so many of them. And that Carrie Brunson name was like, oh my God, that
Mm,
was like the worst name you could mention. That's like cursing at somebody in Edgefield when you say Carrie Brunson. Don't that's a curse word. That was literally a curse word when you did when you said her name to us at one point. Because it was 1,000 of them.
I guess as I've done this, if anything, it tells me that further back in that family's history, there was a Carrie that everyone was naming a daughter after. I mean, everyone of their mother. So that's my theory. Further back in the family history, there was like a matriarch, and I bet you anything her name was Carrie.
Right. Exactly. So now
I'm also going to say the tree checker again should be free. And even if you have a free tree, it should be free. And the reason why I say it's free is whether people want to admit it or not, a large part of Ancestry's offering is crowdsourced. It's coming from our trees. It's coming from records that we find from outside of Ancestry and upload to the profiles that are actually on the service. And they're there to support our research to show why we believe couple X is someone's parents. Like I said, a lot of that is crowdsourced, and if you're going to have a model that is based on crowdsourcing like this, it's to the company's benefit to make sure that all of us are working as hard as we can to make sure that what's in our tree is as accurate as you can make it. Mistakes happen. Mistakes will always happen. But anything they can do to mitigate that would be a great thing.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Now there was a question up front from Shantae. She said, "Does the system allow you to select 13 just to push it through, but make a note somewhere in the record that age isn't 13 but actually 10?" No. There is nowhere where you can, at least where I've found, because I purposely bought this just so I can see how this works, see what it does, so that I could talk to you guys about this. There's nowhere in here that does that. Now, where is it like that? Family Tree Maker, because that's the other thing that people need to understand. These types of things are already available in certain softwares. Why are you charging in here when it's already available somewhere else? It's actually available. Family Tree Maker has it. And Family Tree Maker can connect to Ancestry for those that that's the other thing.
Roots Magic have
Roots Magic,
excellent reports. Tribal pages,
travel pages,
which I think it's really minimal fee. I think it's under
$35 a year.
$35 a year. You get wonderful reports.
Yes. Yes. We haven't even started talking about the reports part yet. We're still on Tree Checker. And that's there's that. I mean, these things are available. So if you have, as far as Ancestry is concerned, I pay for all access. Why don't I have access to this? I like I said, I'm anti Ancestry. So I actually posted, I'm like, dear Ancestry, why do I pay for all access and I don't have all access? I pay $49 a month. And now I have to pay an additional $10 to get the tools. I don't find it to be fair. I don't find it to be fair. So that I do feel that way. And then Andrea Kender said, "I think Ancestry should have genealogists practice the new tools before releasing." I don't know if they didn't. We
Well, I'm going to say the 7 or 8 videos that I saw this morning were all by professional genealogists.
yeah. I mean, we don't know if they didn't. I mean, Krista Cowan is one of their top genealogists, and she actually stated that she would be on her Instagram showing people how to use it and things of that nature. So I can't say that they're not showing. I can't say that they don't have them testing it out and going through these different things already. That they didn't. I think it would be irresponsible for them not to have had done that
Mhm.
already. To
Well,
be
no,
honest,
again, the videos I saw, these are professional genealogists who had taken part in the beta testing. So there definitely was beta testing. It clearly involved, I don't know how many, but professional genealogists. Now I will say that all of the YouTube videos that I saw, it was a mix. None of them were like 100% A plus. They all had mixed things to say about it.
everybody has mixed things to say about it. So let's go into the reports. The regular. That's all I can say. They're regular. They're family. They're family. I mean, I can pull a report up if y'all want me to pull a report up. I can pull a report up real quick using
This was
Elizabeth.
this was the one part that I will honestly say I didn't spend much time in. I have an interesting question, and maybe you can bring this up and show me. But on the fan chart, can you select any ancestor and do a fan chart from them, or does it always have to start with you?
No, you can select any ancestor and do a fan chart.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the
I'm gonna
fan
say
chart.
that
Yeah. That's amongst the tree. So you can go inside your tree, and that's free. That's free. You can do your fan chart. That's not even a part of this.
Oh, okay.
That's not a part of this. The fan chart, at least it wasn't. Now you get ready to make me check. Hold on. Let me go to my tree real quick and hit the fan, because it's on Mary Eliza, and hit the fan. Yeah, that's free. That's gonna show
Okay.
up no matter
Yeah.
who you do. But the when you go, let me go back to her profile. The charts and reports is more so. So I'm gonna go ahead and share her screen, her tab. So this is the charts and reports. Um, and it gives you four different types. It's the descendancy, and it's just as let me get one that I have a lot of people. So let me go back to my mom. I'll get my mother.
While you're doing that, Terry Burks has asked, can you use Pro Tools on other kits that you manage? That maybe you can answer to, Donnie. What I can say, and again, this is it deals with the family plan. Everyone, even though you have a shared family plan package, each person on your plan needs to purchase Pro Tools in order to access them. So it's not like it comes part and parcel with the family package
Right.
once and done. Every person would need to pay for it. That
Exactly.
that much I know. Do you know if those pop up on other kits? I will. No, well, I guess if you had the family plan and everyone has to have their own Pro Tools account or add-on, I would imagine it would be the same for kits that you manage because you're not the owner of other people's.
Right.
Does that make
So
sense?
yeah, that does make sense. So here's the thing for me, because I kicked in with my mother's, me and my mom's kit is under one email address. So whatever I do under mine, my mom gets it too. This was before they separated it. But now, because everything is, as far as DNA kits are concerned, no matter what kit it is, it's all under it's all under different email addresses. So whatever you do, it's got to be, I'll put it like this. My mother's I purchased the gene kit because I purchased the trait under the Danya
Hmm.
20746.
Hmm.
She has it too. But my sister's, she doesn't have it. My
Got it.
son, he doesn't have it. My daughter doesn't have it. So I would have to pay $10 for theirs, $10 for theirs, $10 for, I would have to literally pay that amount for each one of their DNA kits in order for them to do it. Just like their trees, they don't have, I can access them from my particular tree, but if I go under the email address that I have for them, they don't have a tree. It's not free.
So it's sounding like, if I understand what you're saying correctly, if your kits are still under the same email address, all of them have to have the same email address. If you if you do the add-on, the Pro Tools add-on under that email address, then all of the other kits will have access to it.
For me, it does. For my mom, so far, that's what
Okay,
it's looking like. Yeah.
got it.
Now,
But if
because
you
I've
just
said that, and if they're watching, more than likely they're gonna go and look at my stuff again. Who knows? I may be setting my life up, and yeah, who
Well,
knows?
no, that actually does make sense because I'm thinking about the clients that I'm working on. I still have access, they having to go through the two-step verification, blah, blah, blah. I have access again to their DNA tests and their trees, but I know two of them did do the Pro Tools, and I don't have access to the Pro Tools because I haven't done it.
Right. Yeah, so I'm not sure. So okay, here is the reports. The descendancy report is right here. And this is my mom, this is my grandfather, this is how it looks. You can get this, free on Tribal Pages.
Hmm.
Literally. You don't even have to be a member of Tribal Pages to get this. You can literally get this free. Matter of fact, you can get this free on My Heritage if you have 250 or less on your tree. Because My Heritage is free for 250 people or less for their tree. You can get these reports. The reports like this. I've never been able to pronounce this. Never been able to pronounce this word.
Yeah, I want to
I,
say it's Ottentafel.
but it stands for Ancestors Table.
Yeah. Why that? They should just call it that.
Yeah. I don't, yeah. But it's all, it tells you where they were born, gives you that information. This is a register. I don't even know. Here we go. Generation one. But it gives it to you in different ways. So these are the tables, and then you have your family group sheet. That's it. That's it. These are things that you can print out, put on your, when you're creating your stuff. But that's it.
Excuse me. Basically, I mean, again, I guess there's a convenience aspect to it, but I've been doing this for years. I just download my GetCom from Ancestry, upload it into Roots Magic, or I upload it into Tribal Pages, and produce all the reports I need to produce.
I'm sorry. What you say, Brian?
It's like I can see the convenience aspect of this, but I've been doing this for years. And as I said, all I basically do is download my GetCom from Ancestry, upload it into Roots Magic or Tribal Pages, and I produce all the reports I need to produce.
Exactly. It's already it's something that it's not it it don't need to be paid for, and it really doesn't need to. So let's go into, because we're going short, this be like 15 minutes, so let's go into costs. These things have been costing people anywhere from $9.99 to $19.99. I'm not lying when I say that, y'all. $9.99 to $19.99. You have been hearing things like price gouging. You have been hearing things like, why is mine this much? Why is yours that much? These people have been talking about these prices. They're not understanding, and no one really has not answered that. That question has not been answered. And we don't, I don't know why it's like that. I unfortunately, I don't know. I am going to say this. When I applied, when I tried to get this, when I went to go do this last night, so that I could figure out how this works and everything, I went on and I said, I called them and I'm like, I want to get this because I need to test this out, but I don't want to keep it. I was honest with them. I said, I don't want to keep it. So, how do I cancel it? Because another problem was people were saying, I went to cancel it and I was being charged a cancellation fee. And they were like, I was hearing cancellation fees of up to $50. Well, the reason why they were getting these cancellation fees is because they weren't just canceling this, they were actually canceling their entire subscription. You have to call Ancestry to cancel this. I'm telling y'all this so you know. Do not cancel your subscription. Cancel this if this is what you want to cancel. And you need to call them in order to do that.
Because what did I say in the green room? One of the ways that I saw myself actually using these, or at least the filter tool specifically, would be on a for a specific purpose, specific reason, for a short period of time. So I may do the $9.99 for a month or two and then want to cancel it if it's really easy to cancel it. Well, you were telling me about your experience of actually having to phone them. I don't want to phone them every time want to. I'm working on a project. I would find a tool really beneficial, use it for a short period of time, and want to cancel it. Then re-up maybe a couple of months or a year down the line. I think in terms of that kind of a use, they're missing out. There's a there's a part of the market that they're missing out on. I doubt a lot of people would actually have the tools for a full year. So just make it really easy to come and go.
Yeah. Deborah Singleton said it is still free. It was never free. I don't know what, it's never been free. I don't know what was free. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what it is she's talking about. And then Joyce Ann Haney said, have Ancestry took off African American family search. I'm unable to find it. I don't know what that is either. So I don't know. Terry Burke asks, can you use the Pro Tools on other kits that you manage? That's the question that
Mhm.
we've already gone through that one. So, okay. Um, Marie says, I think most people will subscribe to the tree checker for a month and then unsubscribe. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. In order to unsubscribe, you have to call them. You can't just, you cannot just unsubscribe because it's not under your accounts. This is what I found out when I was looking at it, because I'm like, I don't want to get on here and then I can't get off of it. Like I'm telling y'all, I lie to you now. After this show is over, or not after the show is over, probably by tomorrow, this will be off of my account. They're gonna get
I,
$10 from me one time, and that's it.
for the way that I would use it, I wouldn't want to have to go through that. I just would want to dip in for a specific purpose for a short period of time and dip back out of it again.
Yeah, this is not. It's not worth the money. Whether it's $9.99, $12.99, $14.99, or $19.99, it is not worth the money. And those are all of the prices that so far that I have seen people are paying. Not only that, guys, there is a different price for Ancestry all over the world. These are things that has been popping up since this came up all over the world. I've been seeing prices from $49.99 to $89.99 to $269 because you're paying, whether you're paying for 6 months, for a year, for monthly. It just all literally all depends on what it is you're paying for. It is Ancestry is getting over like a fat rat. They are really doing
I'm
their thing.
I'm gonna say I don't remember a time when so many voices were kind of unified, speaking out against something when it comes to Ancestry products.
Yeah.
Now, I remember when they were lowering the CMs, there were two clear camps, and both of those camps were very sizable. Not so on this. I'm seeing a lot of negatives, and again, a lot of the YouTube videos that I saw from professional genealogists, they were it was mixed. They gave very candid, they spoke about what they really liked, and they spoke about what they thought could be better, and they spoke about whether or not it was worth 9.99 to pay for. Um, so I don't know where that kind of leaves Ancestry on this one. Like I said, maybe you can think of a time when people really spoke out against something, kind of in a in a unified voice. But I don't know where this leaves Ancestry, because I can imagine they're going to say, well, this required a lot of coding and a lot of, behind the scenes work. Lord only knows, don't know if they've really started, going into marketing overdrive, but, there's the marketing budgets and all that kind of, so, a lot of money would have gone into this. I'm going to say a lot of money went into tools that no one really asked for. Me,
Wow.
except for filters. I know that a lot of people.
So Terry Burke, he responded, and first Deborah responded. She was talking about the still free was about the fan tree, which was what I had actually had said
Mhm.
too. So thank you, Deborah, for responding to that. And Terry Burke said, as far as the money and the cost for the how much they're going to charge. He said he was in Krista Cowan, because it's actually Cowan, Pajamas and Pedigree Group. And her response about pricing is they're trying to land on a price that people will pay. So you're just going to throw some numbers out there, basically, is what they're saying. And he said that was not a good answer. And it's not. It's really not. And that actually makes sense, because one person said on one day it was $9.99, then it jumped up to $19.99, and then it went right back down to $9.99 the next day, because they were like, nah, that's not going to work. So it sounds to me, y'all, I am so sorry, because my dog is really on. Please get your dog. So yeah, that really is just not, that's not fair. That's not good. They to me, you don't even care about your consumer at that point. If you're just going to just throw some numbers out there, you don't even care. You have no care whatsoever when it comes to them at that point. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a crowdsourcing a price to charge for it.
It's crazy. Oh, Don Phillips said all they had to do was raise all subscriptions by $1 and been better than this. Here's the thing about that, though. According to, and I think Don, you saw this in one of the Facebook groups when a question was asked about that whole situation. According to Krista, again, they did not raise the prices for this whole thing. They didn't raise the membership prices, as if, now she's in a genealogy group. And she said this as if the group that she was in, that this wasn't a seasoned group of researchers that saw their prices go up throughout the years. I have watched my membership go from 1999 to 49.99, and you're going to come to me and actually say that my membership hasn't been raised? Watch your mouth. That's crazy.
I remember those 1999 days.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, Henry said they didn't do a focus group. Of course they didn't. They never do a focus group. They never do a focus group. They just pretty much just put themselves out there. That's it. And see, now we getting on this other stuff. Joyce pays $24.99. Where are you? Because I need your life. So it's all very, very crazy. It's all very crazy. But that, and okay, Brian, so if we're gonna do this on we're grading now. Now we're on the grading scale. What is your grade?
For something called Pro Tools, I'm gonna give it a C. There are things that are useful that I think should be free, but a lot of it I wouldn't need, I wouldn't use. But that's me. That's me.
I would give it Jesus Christ. I would give it a C minus because there are parts of it that can be helpful for certain people if that is the kind of thing that you like to do. I would give it a C minus. It's not it's not for me. It's not my kind of thing. So I would never use it, which is why I come first thing Monday morning when they open up, I'm probably gonna be their first phone call
Mhm.
to tell them to cancel it.
Yeah.
But
I'm also giving it, now you're making me think maybe C minus, because I'm going to be perfectly candid, and I hate to do this in the final seconds of the show. There is not one tool here that would help me research my enslaved ancestor
not one,
or my free people of color.
not
Not
one,
one.
not one, not one. It doesn't help.
And I'm even going to broaden that and say my poor white ancestors and family in Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, all up and down the Appalachians.
See, you trying
It
to make
wouldn't.
me give it an F. You trying to make me give it an F. I was trying to be a nice girl and do the C minus, but you really trying to make me give it an F. Yolanda said, Brian, that's why I gave it a D. She gave it a D. But I mean, it's just not, it's not helping. It's not doing anything. It's not helping me in any kind of way whatsoever. It doesn't help, which is why I wouldn't pick it up. I'll go back to my C minus. I'll go back to my C minus. I'll keep it as C minus simply because there are people out here that like to do tech, that like to use technology. But technically speaking, it ain't doing nothing. It's
And
not,
we're
it's
and we're familiar with other DNA testing companies who do have really just wonderful tools to use.
yeah, yeah. Tribal pages is $35 a year. A year. And that's giving you unlimited everything. That's giving literally, it's unlimited everything. Plus, you can purchase a USB for certain things. So yeah, no, it's a C minus for me. It's definitely a C minus. So, guys, we are 2 minutes away from closing. I hope that we were able to help you out to answer some questions for you. We are gone until Black History Month. Yeah, we're gone to Black History Month.
Even Bruno's saying goodbye in the background.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I don't know why this dog has been so vocal this past couple of. He's just been so vocal. I'm so sorry about that, but we're gonna miss you guys. But we need a break.
Yeah.
We need a rest.
Oh, so from our families to yours, wishing you guys all the best for the holiday seasons, whatever holidays you celebrate. Be happy, be safe.
Yes, I'm Danya. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah to all of you. Have fun. Enjoy your family. Love on them. Kiss on them. All of that good stuff.
And get those stories.
Yes, get those
Get
stories. Get those
those
stories.
stories. All right, and well, until we see you in the new year, I'm Brian Sheffy.
And I'm Danya. Love you guys.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.